When I was in high school, we had a guest speaker come in to speak to our class about abstinence. She walked us through an activity called Who is in Your Bed? She laid down a sheet and explained that every time you do something sexual with someone, they end up in your bed. And by the time your husband comes along, there's all these people, ties, connections, and relationships in your bed. At an early age, I made the decision I would save myself until marriage, but nobody prepared me for what was in between. I entered into relationships, some more serious than others, giving my heart away, giving my body away, sometimes out of hurt and sometimes out of what I thought was love. But I never quite crossed that line, the boundary that I set for myself. Technically, I still have my purity. Fast forward, my marriage, the love of my life, the one I had waited for. I stood before him, my friends, and my family, taking covenant to love him as long as we both shall live. Coming to him, achieving the goal I had set, saving myself for him. But what most people didn't see was my heart had been given to others before him. I deeply loved others before him, and I have given myself to others before him. I was broken. I entered into a marriage having my heart already given to so many before him, and I didn't realize the effects that would have on our marriage. We had to navigate through not only my baggage, but his as well. When you added the numbers up, there were a lot of people in our bed. I'm not talking sexually, but people we had given our hearts to, gave our trust to, gave our time to, gave our devotion to, gave our secrets to, gave our love to. And now, we're standing before each other, only having pieces of our hearts to give one another. Now we have to navigate through Christ when our past comes and slaps us in the face, when our past comes to steal, kill, and destroy our marriage. What I wish I would have done differently is talked about it. Talked about the intimacy I was experiencing with others. I wish I wouldn't have been so scared to actually share what I was facing, because in that moment, Satan was able to isolate. And when he isolates, he makes you feel unworthy, unloved, dirty, disgusting, like a failure, a hypocrite, and alone in your sin. When he's able to do that, he pushes you further into sin, further into a deep hole, further into darkness, further into his hands. We're living in a time of sexual awakening, fetishes, kinks, LGBT community. That's what the next generation is being raised and exposed to at a young age, through mouth and through social media. We, the church, need to talk about it. If we're not talking about sexual sin, temptation, and pleasure, then who is? Don't just slap a label on it. Don't have sex until marriage, setting a standard for a little girl, but not helping to guide her through the natural feelings she's going to experience. Disregarding the culture that is being pushed upon her, disregarding social media and the influence it has. The fact that Satan is doing everything to persuade her, don't disregard that. What are we doing to be the difference in this generation? If we hide what God has brought us out of, then who gets the glory? Instead of seeing grace, they see how perfect you are. As parents, as mentors, we need to stand. We need to help the next generation walk through these feelings. We need to be there and listen to them, because if we don't listen, someone else will.